Did you know that the way you price your product could make or break your business? In fact, studies show that up to 40% of your sales could be affected just by the price tag you put on your product. Think about it. A simple change in price can boost sales or drive customers away. But how do you figure out the perfect price? Here's the shocking truth. Most businesses don't know how to price right. Many just go with what feels good or what competitors are charging. But this approach leaves money on the table. Imagine losing customers because you priced your product too high or, worse, too low. In this video, we're going to explore 6 powerful pricing strategies that will help you unlock your product's true value. You'll learn about how psychological tricks can make your price irresistible, how to price based on value instead of cost, and even how to get customers hooked before raising your prices. By the end, you'll have the tools to price like a pro and turn your product into a sales magnet. Ready to start? Let's dive in. Chapter 1. The psychology of pricing. Why your customer thinks it's worth it. When it comes to pricing, how you set the price can deeply affect how your customers see your product. It's not just about numbers, it's about perception. The way people think about your price can change their decision to buy. Take charm pricing, for example. We've all seen prices like $9.99 instead of $10. Sounds small, but research shows that shoppers see $9.99 as being much cheaper than $10, even though it's only a 1-cent difference. This is a simple but powerful way to boost sales without changing the actual price much. Another strategy is price anchoring, which uses a reference price to make your actual price look more appealing. Think of when you're at a store and see a $100 item marked down to $60. Suddenly, that $60 price seems like a great deal, even if it's still above your budget. The high original price makes the sale price seem like a bargain. What about premium pricing? If your brand is luxurious, setting a higher price can actually make customers believe your product is of higher quality. This works well for high-end fashion and tech products. Apple's iPhone, for instance, is priced higher than many competitors, but that high price helps it maintain an image of quality and exclusivity. Studies show that 64% of people are willing to pay more for a product they believe is superior. It's all about creating that perception of value. Research also says that 59% of consumers are willing to pay more for a personalized product. People love feeling like what they buy is made just for them. Understanding psychological pricing strategies helps you make smarter decisions when pricing your products. Customers aren't just buying a product, they're buying a feeling, an experience. This is why pricing isn't just about cost, it's about what people believe the product is worth. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips on how to price like a pro and grow your business. Chapter 2. The value-based secret. Pricing based on worth, not cost. A powerful pricing strategy is value-based pricing. Instead of setting prices based on how much it costs you to make the product, you price it based on how much value it brings to the customer. Think about it. If you're selling a high-quality blender that can make smoothies in seconds, it's not about how much the blender parts cost, it's about how much your customers value that convenience. In fact, value-based pricing allows businesses to charge more, especially if the product solves a big problem or offers high value. For instance, some software companies price their tools based on the benefits the customer will get, rather than the cost of developing them. Ever heard of Salesforce? They don't price based on what it costs them to run the service, they base it on the value the customer gets in return. According to a study from Harvard Business Review, 44% of companies that use value-based pricing report higher profit margins than those that use cost-based pricing. Why? Because they're not leaving money on the table. Customers will pay more for what they perceive as valuable to them. Take the example of a designer handbag. Yes, it costs more to make than a regular bag, but its high price tag doesn't just cover production costs, it's also about the brand's luxury status. People don't mind paying extra for the status that comes with it. To implement value-based pricing, start by asking, what problem does my product solve? How much is that worth to the customer? This insight will allow you to set a price that aligns with customer expectations, and ultimately, maximize your profits. Chapter 3. Penetration pricing. Disrupt the market. Gain customers fast. Penetration pricing is one of the most effective strategies when you're entering a competitive market and need to quickly attract customers. The idea is simple. Set an initial low price to gain market share quickly. Think of how Netflix started offering its services for a low price to lure in subscribers. The lower price made it easier for people to take a chance on a new service, and once they were hooked, many stayed even as the price increased. According to research from McKinsey, companies that use penetration pricing often see a 15–25% increase in customer acquisition within the first year. That's a big jump. But there's a catch. The goal isn't to stay at a low price forever. It's about building your customer base quickly and then gradually increasing prices once you have strong brand loyalty. A classic example is Spotify, which started with a free tier and low subscription rates. This strategy helped them build a massive audience. Once users were hooked on the service, they were more willing to pay for the premium version. Penetration pricing doesn't just work for digital services, it can also work for physical products. In fact, consumer electronics brands like Samsung use it to push new products. They offer initial low prices on their latest smartphones to drive sales and market penetration. Once the product gains popularity, they slowly increase prices as competition subsides. One downside? You need to have deep pockets to fund a low-price strategy. If you don't have the cash flow to support it, this strategy could backfire. But if you can handle the initial loss and gain customer loyalty, penetration pricing is a great way to disrupt the market. The key takeaway here is that penetration pricing works when you're trying to introduce something new or different in a crowded space. Keep your prices low to attract customers fast, but have a plan to gradually raise them as your business grows. Make sure to hit that subscribe button to learn more strategies that will help you grow your business faster. Chapter 4. Dynamic Pricing. Let the market decide your value. Dynamic pricing is all about adjusting your prices in real time based on supply, demand, and market conditions. Airlines are masters at this strategy. Ever noticed how the price of a flight changes depending on when you book it? This is dynamic pricing in action. The same flight could cost you $50 on a Tuesday and $250 on a Friday. Why? Because airlines use algorithms to adjust prices based on demand, customer behavior, and even the time of day. Dynamic pricing allows businesses to maximize their profits by charging higher prices when demand is high and offering discounts when demand is low. Take Uber, for example. Their surge pricing adjusts the cost of a ride during peak hours or when there are fewer drivers available. When there's high demand, like on a Friday night, Uber increases the price to match the demand. As a result, they make sure they're offering rides where they can get the highest return. Interestingly, dynamic pricing isn't limited to travel or ride-sharing. It's becoming increasingly popular in retail, too. Amazon frequently adjusts prices based on what competitors are charging, customer search behavior, and seasonal demand. A study from Vera Data found that 60% of online retailers use dynamic pricing to boost sales. And it works. Companies that implemented dynamic pricing saw an average of 25% higher revenue compared to those that didn't. But be careful. Customers might feel like they're being taken advantage of if they notice prices changing too often. Research from Harvard Business School suggests that businesses using dynamic pricing need to be transparent and clearly communicate how and why their prices change to avoid customer frustration. To make dynamic pricing work for your business, you need to have the right tools. Software that tracks competitor prices and customer demand in real time is essential. Once you have this data, you can adjust prices strategically and maximize your profits. Chapter 5. Freemium Pricing. Build the future with freebies. Freemium pricing is a popular model where businesses offer a free version of their product or service with the option to upgrade to a premium version for more features. It works especially well for digital products like apps and software. Spotify and Dropbox are two well-known examples of companies that have used the freemium model to scale rapidly. In fact, Spotify reports that about 45% of their paying users started with the free version of the service. Why does this strategy work? The idea behind freemium is simple. Get users hooked on the free version, and then convert them into paying customers once they see the value of your product. Research by Zynga, the creator of games like Farmville, found that only about 2–3% of freemium users will actually upgrade to the paid version. However, those 2–3% are enough to generate significant revenue when you have millions of users. Freemium pricing works because it reduces the barrier to entry for users. No one wants to commit to a paid subscription without trying the product first. By offering a taste of the product for free, you allow potential customers to experience its value before asking them to pay for it. But freemium pricing isn't without its challenges. You have to balance the free offering with the premium one. If the free version is too good, customers may never upgrade. On the other hand, if it's too limited, users might not see enough value to stick around. Striking the right balance is key. A 2018 report by MediaKicks found that 92% of freemium users never convert to a paid plan, but the remaining 8% often pay significantly more than customers who go straight for the premium version. So while the freemium model may seem like a gamble, it's a great way to build a customer base and eventually monetize. Chapter 6. Price skimming. The premium launch strategy. Price skimming is a pricing strategy where businesses set a high price for a new product at launch, and then gradually lower it over time. This strategy is common in industries like electronics, especially when new technologies are introduced. Think about Apple and the launch of a new iPhone. The initial price is always high, but as time goes on, the price drops, making it more accessible to a wider audience. One of the biggest advantages of price skimming is that it allows businesses to capture maximum revenue from early adopters. These are the customers who are willing to pay a premium for being the first to try something new. Research from NPD Group found that nearly 30% of tech consumers are early adopters, meaning they're willing to pay more for the latest and greatest gadgets. When using price skimming, timing is crucial. Companies must drop prices at the right moments to avoid alienating early customers or losing market share to competitors. A study by Boston Consulting Group shows that price skimming works best when a product is innovative and there are limited alternatives on the market. For example, when Tesla introduced its first electric cars, it used price skimming to target high-income customers, and then gradually lowered the price to attract more budget-conscious buyers. Price skimming can also work well for products that have a short life cycle, like fashion items or gadgets. For example, video game consoles are often priced high when they first come out, but within a year, the price drops significantly as new models are introduced. However, price skimming isn't always the best option. If your product is entering a highly competitive market, you might find that customers aren't willing to pay a high price at launch. Additionally, this strategy requires strong brand recognition and customer loyalty, as people are more likely to pay a high price if they trust the brand. In summary, price skimming works when you have a unique product and can tap into a niche of early adopters who are willing to pay more. By gradually lowering the price over time, you can expand your customer base while maximizing profits from those who were willing to pay a premium upfront. Subscribe to our channel for more pricing tips and business growth strategies.